All right, we're back. One of the cameras blew up, so we got another camera hooked up. We got more than one camera, and we're going back into it. Hey, where did I leave off at? I was pretty much.
You made a statement.
Yeah, I made a statement, a heavy statement. That's when the camera blew up. But I'm gonna take the camera to the repair guy, see what happens. But like I said, we have other cameras. But anyway, we're going back into it. We were reading. Okay, we broke down about Osiris, which is two Hebrew words, Achar Aratazah, which means another land, literally, right? And that other land or another land is actually America itself. Okay, so go back to where you left off in Deuteronomy 29, and you was at 24. You read a couple of verses down.
Yeah, the 25th verse. The men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord power of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods, and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. As I'm reading this, I'm thinking of Nate. Now, the Lord got pissed off because we worship other gods. Nate is worshiping another god, even as we speak. By him saying that his name is Christ, that's another god, man. That's not Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Reading on in the 28th verse, and the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land as it is this day.
Yeah, so the first that was uprooted out of the land was the kingdom of Israel, and then later in history was a little bit more than 200 years later. Well, not really. No. I'm sorry. They were taken down by the Babylonians. Then the Medo-Persians came on the scene, and it was what's his name, Cyrus, that had financed them to build the temple once again. Mm-hmm. And then they stayed in Jerusalem, in the region of Israel, in our homeland. They stayed there all the way up to the time when the Messiah came on the scene. And after the Messiah had died and rose back up, they were still on the scene even up until the time of the 70, 71, 72 A.D. Right. Going back to the history of Titus, Vespasian's father, and Domitian, when there was a campaign to totally do away with the Israelites. Exactly. And what happened was a lot of them died. A lot of them fled into other parts of Europe, Egypt. A lot of them fled down into the interiors of Africa. And then later in history, starting from the 1500s, mid to late 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, that's when they were brought over here. But the so-called, we call them the Latin tribes, but the so-called, the other tribes, the Northern Kingdom, they were already here. They were established. Esau came on the scene. When did Christopher Columbus set sail and come to the New World? The end, about the last 8 years before the turn of that century, which was 1500. And if you notice, shortly after that, that's when Christopher Columbus had brought back slaves back to Spain.
Right.
Okay? And that was the same time that maybe 50 years later, 100 years later, that's when Jake started being brought over here. So you see how everything comes into play?
Yep.
Let's read on.
This is 2 Esdras 13 and 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. And now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. but those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he
Because the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, stay within the Lord's borders, which is over there in the land of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. And
so that hasn't changed. The stuff that the Lord is dealing with everybody. Everybody is his people. He's coming back to his people. He shall defend his people. Go ahead.
And then shall he show them great wonders. Then said I, O Lord, that bearest rule, show me this. Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea? And he said unto me, like as thou canst neither seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea, even so can no man upon earth see my son or those that be with him, but in the daytime. This is the interpretation of the dream which thou sawest, and whereby thou only art here lightened. For thou hast forsaken thine own way, and applied thy diligence unto my law, and sought it. Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom, and hast called understanding thy mother. And therefore have I showed thee the treasures of the highest. After other 3 days I will speak other things unto thee, and declare unto thee mighty and wondrous things. Then went I forth into the field, giving praise and thanks greatly unto the Most High, because of his wonders which he did in time, and because he governeth the same, and such things as fall in their seasons. And there I sat 3 days. 2 Esdras 14:1.
Now that's what we want to get into. 2 Esdras the 14th chapter. Go ahead.
It says, and it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Esdras, Esdras. And I said, Here am I, Lord. And I stood up upon my feet. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talked with him when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. And now I say unto thee, that thou lay up in thine heart the signs that I have showed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretations which thou hast heard. For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee until the times be ended. For the world hath lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts.
Yeah, now this is what we wanted to get. For the world is divided unto 12 parts. You have people out there, brothers out there teaching that the 12 parts represent the 12 tribes of Israel. It's not talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. It's talking about time. It's talking about time. Go ahead.
It says, For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10th part. And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. Now therefore...
Right, half of the 10th part. What is half of a 10th part? 9.5, right? So let's deal with thousands, all right? The earth was set up in a period of 1,000 years. 12,000 years. Now, 10,000 and a half of 10, all right? It's not talking about 10,500 years. It's talking about 9,500 years. You know how we know that? Because this is Ezra's receiving the prophecy, right? When was Ezra on the scene? He was on the scene around, when this was written, was about 485, 490 years before the birth of the Lord.
Right.
So you can round it off to 500, about approximately 500 years.
Right.
So 500 years later, that's when Yahushua came on the scene, right?
Right. That's right.
Now, from the time of Yahushua to now, that's how many years? That's 12,000, right? That's 12,000 parts.
Yep.
So we're beyond the 12,000 parts. So this man, if you notice, this man is going down, man. This man is going down.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is our 2 Esdras chapter chapter 7, verse 25. And therefore Esdras, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass. And the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth.
The bride is us.
And whosoever is delivered from the aforesaid evils shall see my wonders. For my son Yahushai shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall